Welcome to New Mexico Living.
Reversing type 2 diabetes, those living with type 2 diabetes or know someone who is, understands the demand and the toll that the disease can not only have on your body, but your overall quality of life. Luckily, there could be a way to reverse that, though. Dr. Stephen Wander has been helping people reverse their type 2 diabetes for nearly 25 years. We're very lucky to have him here in studio with us this morning. Doctor, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
I learned so much in the brief minutes we were talking before we came on air, and so I'm really looking forward to learning a little bit more about what you do. What got you into wanting to help people with diabetes?
You know, about when I was 12 or 13 years old, my grandmother took me out to lunch, and the first thing she did is she put out about 12 pills.
Oh.
And I said, what are all those pills for? And she said, well, the first one's for my sugar, the second one's for my pressure, the third one's for my cholesterol, the fourth one's for my thyroid, the fifth one is for the side effects of the first one, the sixth one is for the side effects of the second one, and on and on. And I saw her health trajectory go downhill very quickly. Oral medication after oral medication, insulin, dialysis, amputation of her foot, until about 3 months after that lunch, she was gone.
Oh my gosh, a rapid decline, very quick. Even though, you know, she was taking medicine to maybe try to help mitigate everything, it really just wasn't enough because the diabetes really was just all-consuming. So you have focused on trying to help people reverse that. Tell us a little bit about what you do and how it's different from traditional methods.
Well, typically when people get diagnosed, they go to the doctor and the doctor says, hey, your blood sugar's high, here, take this. And what I'm told is before the ink pen is done clicking, the doctor gives them a prescription is for Metformin. And then when that doesn't work, they go down the line of what I call drop down arrow medicine, which is Metformin, Glipizide, Glipizide, Actos, Januvia, Farxiga, Jardiance, until eventually they're on insulin. And all they get for information is change your diet, lose weight, exercise. Not which diet, not which exercise, how much weight, and how do I do it. And so the three main myths of diabetes are, I call it the WAG, weight. So diabetes, type 2 diabetes, has nothing to do with weight. Age, has nothing to do with your age. No disease, you automatically turn 60 and you get the disease. And then G, genetics. Well, my aunt has it, my dad has it, my mom has it, therefore it's in my bloodline. No, there's no genetic component for type 2. Type 1, there is.
Sure.
Type 1 is an autoimmune disease, but no genetic component. And they say, but doc, everybody in my family has this. Well, Mr. Jones, over 50% of the people in America are pre-diabetic or worse. So it's very common. And the treatment, you know, when I was outside in the green room, I saw all these old phones and cameras, and I said, all the current treatment is antiquated. That is not. The only way to determine how you can reverse type 2 diabetes is to properly test the patient and see why can't they regulate their blood sugar?
Right.
Not, let me give you these medications, because it's not that you're too deficient in metformin and now that's going to work.
Yeah, it's not a one-size-fits-all answer, and there's not going to be one thing that's going to help everybody. And so taking the time to actually understand why the patient has diabetes, how that they can address it and reverse it, sounds like it's the key thing that's so important here. So what makes somebody, you know, like a good candidate? What are some of the factors of somebody that makes them a candidate?
Someone who's a good candidate is really, is their health their number one priority? And now we're getting ready to get into the holiday season, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and people, they want time with what? Their family.
Sure.
And so they need really think about, not, their why is not, why do I want to regulate my blood sugar? Their why is, I want to spend more time with my kids. I want to see my granddaughter's dance recital. I want to see my grandson graduate from college. I want to see the baseball games of my grandkids or my kids. And so once they realize that they can have enough, you know, discipline with help, so someone who can give them a step-by-step plan based on their individual customized testing, then they can start the process of seeing immediate results.
And that has to be really comforting for them to know, like, there is help here. You know, this isn't just a horrible diagnosis. I mean, it is, but then there are answers. When you seek out the right medical professional, there are answers that can help them kind of clear all of that up, which leads me to ask, how can we get in contact with you? How can we find you, learn more about you?
So we have, since COVID actually, so we used to have an actual physical office for 20-some years, but now we can treat patients virtually. COVID actually moved us into that realm. So you can register for my webinar, which which is, I know it rolls off the tongue, the functionalmedicineinstitute.com/diabetes. You can register the webinar and then take the final steps to see if you're a good candidate for a consultation, and then we go from there.
And go from there. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for your time. I feel like I have learned a lot. This is something we could sit and talk about for quite a while, so I am sorry we have to wrap, but thank you so much for your time, Doctor. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. If you want to learn more about Dr. Stephen Wander and how he could help you reverse your type 2 diabetes, please head on over to our website, nmliving.com. We'll be right back.